Morvaine. Hello guys, again. We are playing 7 Heart Stories today. And we will read Morvaine. Episode 8, Season 1. He came back covered in blood. You need to find out why. Who came back? No, it's not Isaac. It was Kaiden. So let's play this episode. Firuzan, spoilers. I think the last time when I played, the music was not very, it was not loud enough, okay. I tried to make more louder music today. Kira chokes on air. She sees her own eyes in the glossy reflection of the helmet. Her palms shoots forward, pressing against Kaiden's chest. Her fingers slide over the fabric before immediately sinking into cold, sticky blood. Her fear splits in two. One part urges her to pull her hand away, the other to shove him away with all her strength. She jerks her hand back sharply, afraid of either hurting him or provoking him. She feels that if she touches the wound, she will only make things worse right now. And if she doesn't touch it, she will make things worse through her inaction. The terror recedes, allowing her vision to focus again. Her eyes lock onto the biker, and a thought flashes through her mind. It's him. Kaiden. Kaiden? Can you hear me? Is this really happening, or am I losing my mind again? The figure in front of her sways, looming over her like a heavy shadow. Her frightened face still reflects in the helmet. Kaiden looks disoriented, confused. He reaches for the helmet, but can't undo the clasp. His hands refuse to obey him. His chest rises rapidly, and his heavy, raged breathing echoes inside the helmet. Kira, driven by some inexplicable impulse, touches his chest. The metal of the piercing brushes against her fingertip. Yes, he has piercing on his things. Is it doubt in reality and the need to make sure he's really here? Kaiden reacts and weakly shakes his head. A third silhouette rises over them. Kira throws her hands up to her face, bracing herself to see a dead man come back to life, but instead she sees someone else's hand. In her field of vision, over black fabric, a multicolored bracelet flashes by. My man! Isaac plants his palm against the biker's chest. Just forcefully pushing him back. Kaiden doesn't resist. On the contrary, with Isaac's help, he steps back and lowers himself to the ground, bending one knee. The outsider, without losing his composure, asks, his breathing still heavy from running. Kira? Hello, I missed you, Isaac, I missed you. You okay? I had no idea. What happened? He crouches down beside her, between them, and shifts his gaze to Kaiden. With the two of you, Where did you even come from? Then he looks back at Kira. And where were you running off to? I don't know. Closer to Morvaine. Away from the corpse. The corpse? Isaac freezes, processing her words. Wait, a corpse? You mean a walking one? The brief pause gives her enough time to notice the silence that is settled around them, even though the dead man's threats still echo in her ears. She abruptly looks around, scanning the loose ground nearby. Behind them, there are only two sets of tracks, hers and Isaac's, no one else's. Her brother's lessons surface in her mind. He had always taught her a clear algorithm for hopeless situations. First, break the distance and run from the danger. Then, make sure the pursuer isn't nearby. And only after that, stop, fill your lungs with air and check yourself for injuries. She follows the instructions, checks herself over unharmed, and only then does she look at the others. The biker sits there with his head lowered, and only his heavy, wretched breathing gives away that he is alive. Kira freezes. Blood. Isaac turns a questioning look toward Kaiden. I'm confused. For a moment, it feels to her like reality is splitting into three separate versions, and each of them is being shown only one side of it. The outsider doesn't look frightened, more concerned, confused. He asked what corpse she meant, as though the reanimated body existed only in her mind, right before her eyes. But he can see the biker, right? Kaiden is bleeding! Or am I the only one who can see it? No, you're not the only one. Was he injured? We need to check. We will check now. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Isaac holds out his hand, gives her a careful tug, and Kira gets to her feet. But the moment they get closer, Kaiden suddenly thrusts out a hand in a bloodied glove, forcing them to stop. Are you worried about Kaiden? Her heart pounds heavy and dull. Her mind frantically runs through the possibilities: an accident, an attack, or someone chasing him the same way they chased her. Kira bites her lip, feeling an unfamiliar anxiety. Guys, do you want louder music or not so loud music? Louder, or is this okay if the music will be a little bit more loud? Tell me, please. There wasn't much history between them. She hadn't had time to truly grow attached to him, yet now an unease twists inside her. Up. Is that okay like that? I think yes. A sense of missed opportunity, a feeling that if this trip had gone differently, they might have made it out together. As friends or as something more. She doesn't know what Kaiden feels or whether he feels anything at all right now besides pain. But seeing him like this, disoriented, covered in blood, completely pulls the ground out from under her. Is there a first aid station here? Those guys selling kidneys probably have an operating table and some bandages lying around. The biker lowers his hand and slowly takes a deep breath. Then he removes his helmet. His expression is hard to read, a mixture of emotions crossing his face: anger, shock, confusion. His mind seems clouded over. I don't need a doctor. This isn't my blood. At least that's one piece of good news. Then whose is it? All three of them turn toward the noise in the bushes. The biker turns sharply, Kira with fear, Isaac with melancholy. The crack of breaking branches gives way to a strained, piercing scream. She freezes, feeling her ears ring. It's the corpse! And she lets out a weary sigh, almost on the verge of tears at the thought that she will have to run again. Her legs still tremble faintly after the sprint. Who is it? I'll take a look. Isaac listens to you more than anyone else. Don't! It's that redhead from the gaming club with this BDSM mask, the one platform stabbed. I just saw him. Her voice nearly rises into a shout despite her dry throat. Isaac freezes, his gaze is alert, but obviously skeptical. A barely noticeable, bitter smirk plays on his lips. You're saying he came back to life and walked all this way just to catch you here? And you're saying I'm losing my mind? I already lost it by the river. Both of us did. We can't split up. Should we check together? Spare me that. I appreciate the concern. The scream from the dense undergrowth rings out again, louder than before. Piercing, high-pitched, and almost human. Isaac's figure recedes, disappearing among the short trees that rise only slightly above the surrounding shrubs. You trust him? To Isaac? I love him, but I don't trust him. In this brief, tense pause, the two of them are left alone. The silence is broken only by the steady crunch of branches fading into the distance. Kira says nothing, neither does Kaiden. The biker is on the edge. He nervously taps his fingers on the helmet and she notices how tightly his fists are clenched, his knuckles white. There are blood stains everywhere, on the visor, his forearms, his chest. Looking at him, she realizes that the details of what happened can wait. Better to save their breath in case something starts chasing them again. Right now, the main thing is to wait for Isaac to come back and get anywhere that could be called safe. Are you okay? Kaiden reacts slugishly. He slowly turns his gaze toward her as if her voice has to cross some invisible barrier before it reaches him. After holding that empty stare on her, he suddenly turns away and gives a faint but firm shake on his head. Not a word. Kaiden's condition worries you. A demonic, ear-splitting screech rings out again. And again, more intense as the sound of footsteps grows more distant. As if Isaac is approaching the epicenter of the scream. And now, the corpse or something else will leap out at them. Kira frantically clamps a hand over her mouth, trying to get her panic under control. In an instant, she feels her heartbeat pounding in her ears. She clenches her jaw until it hurts. Her thoughts race. Stay here beside the wounded Kaiden, hoping the danger will pass them by, or run back toward Morvaine. Both options feel hopeless. Seconds stretch into eternity, and then everything suddenly falls into dead silence. Isaac? Why the heck did he go there? Kira gets angry, and it's the only thing keeping her from sinking completely into fear. When there is some incomprehensible horror in the godforsaken middle of nowhere, you run away from it, not toward it. How has he even lived this long with that kind of survival instinct? She shifts her gaze to Kaiden, who is still motionless. The waiting becomes unbearable. Shake Kaiden? I remember Kaiden don't like when someone is touching him, so I will not touch him. And he is stressed now. Don't touch him. He clearly isn't in the mood to talk right now. Did you play that novel? Finally, a familiar voice rings out. Kira, come here, I need help. Oh God. Specifically mine? Specifically yours. She hesitates, not knowing what to do. Is this nightmare where corpses come back to life and chase you down, trusting her own ears is a dangerous luxury? How sure can she even be that it's Isaac calling her from the darkness? Or is it another distortion of reality, one that has decided to toy with her sanity? Follow the voice. Curiosity wins. Kira takes a deep breath and letting out a breath. Okay, turns off the path. Into the tall grass where the outsider had gone minutes earlier. The shadows hide her too. Unable to see Isaac, she tries to encourage herself and says, "They haven't killed you over there yet?" "Not yet." "Yet?" Step carefully. There was an anthill around here sometimes. That doesn't scare me. Now that she's close, she hears his chuckle. I feel sorry for the ants. Oh, you are so kind, Isaac. Shut, Twitch. Lighting the way with her flashlight, Kira finally notices dark clothing. Isaac is crouching in front of a bush a couple of feet away from her. Hearing her footsteps, he drops to a half whisper. Slowly come closer. You might scare him. Him? Who? Please God, don't let Isaac be sitting there feeling sorry for a dead man. I will kill him. The guide hadn't lied. Kira comes closer and carefully shines her flashlight on what's in front of Isaac. What is that? A new friend. She flinches and the flashlight beam jumps across scarps of her fur. The phone almost slips from her hands, its light catching 4 round, glowing pupils in the darkness. Oh. Try not to shine it in his face. Look what a miracle he is. He got tangled in some wire. Can you hold the phone so I can see what I'm doing? Kira reflexively digs her fingers into Isaac's shoulder, trying to steady herself. Gathering her courage, she points the light forward and feels everything inside her tighten. At first, she thought she imagined it. Now she clearly sees 2 animal muzzles sticking out of one neck. A 2-headed hare. A cutie, yeah. Sensing the human's calm, the animal stops threshing and screaming. A moment later, Isaac gets to his feet, carefully holding the mutant in his arms. Look at this adorable man. How handsome he is, huh? Yes. Want to pet him? Absolutely not. You see? This Chernobyl, really Chernobyl. 100%. Wait, that's a beautiful creature. Isaac or this two-headed monster? The creature sitting in his arms seems ugly to her. Its fur sticks out in uneven tufts, and 4 bulging eyes stare at her without blinking. 2 on each head, emotionless as if made of glass. A web of veins is visible along the edges of its ears. Huge, long paws ending in claws. The beast sits almost motionless, and even so, she can see its heartbeat making its body tremble. Two long teeth stick out of each mouth, and it smells of silt. And Isaac thinks this is cute. He won't bite you. He knows we saved him. I've seen rabbits in pet stores. They aren't nearly this creepy. Isaac laughs softly. This is a hare, a different species. Maybe you will pet him after all? Bloody surface in her thoughts. You really know how to find strange friends. I'm strange myself. Pick me, boy. I'm not like the other boys. I am dead inside. I am pick me. I'm strange myself. Hello. It's okay. In truth, if she sets aside the disgust and fear, she is won over by the way Isaac treats others. Whether it's a simple-minded, one-armed giant or a two-headed hare. Kira thinks, what if the animal in front of her looked different? White, fluffy, clean, and adorable, would she have felt revulsion at the mere thought of touching it? Or would she have reached out on her own? Why did she decide so quickly that mutation meant ugliness, something repulsive? When all that stands before her is a little animal in trouble. Reaching out, she carefully touches one of the hare's heads. It flattens its ears while the other pulls away, glancing sideways in fear. Kira briefly pets that one too. See, now he knows you. A second useful acquaintance. She leans down toward the little muzzles. Tell me, Bunny, who is Fox? They all recoil at once, the beast from human contact, Kira from light, and Isaac to keep the hare from biting her. Then he laughs. You take some things too literally. Be careful, he is still wild. I have never had pets. Should we take it? Are you crazy? That's it. Let it go already. Let it run off and go about its business. Its two-headed babies. Isaac, still smiling, carefully lowers the hare to the ground. It looks around, pricks up its ears, and disappears into the bushes in a few leaps. See? It all went smoothly. Thanks for helping. Next time, please, fill me in at least a little beforehand. I didn't want to spoil the surprise. The surprise still sends shivers across her skin. However, as they make their way through the bushes back to the biker, Kira feels better. More human. Maybe the hare's coordination was thrown off because of its too nervous system, and that's why it got tangled in the wire. And if not for Isaac's composure, it would have rotted there. Maybe she should assess the situation too, instead of running away without thinking. A heart-rending scream isn't always a threat. Sometimes it's a cry for help. Kaiden doesn't ask where they were. He doesn't even lift his head, completely ignoring them. This is a very nice words, guys. Even if it looks strange, creepy, maybe someone needs your help. Sometimes a man laying on the street, he is not drunk. Sometimes he's got heart attack and you need to help him. And sometimes he's drunk. And maybe you also need to help him, but it was his mistake. But anyway, why not to help? When they leave, dawn is beginning to break over the river. In the daylight, nature comes alive and stops looking terrifying. Kaiden only comes to his senses once he is in the living room. He squints in the sunlight and slams the helmet onto the table. The biker turns to them. I should have left. And what stopped you? The old man. He told me we can only leave town with the same group we came in with. His nerves betray him. His former calm gives way to anger, showing itself in sharp gestures and a raised voice. Kira and Isaac listen. She is standing by the kitchen counter with her arms crossed. The outsider sitting at the couch. You remember we have a fox and we need to find him? And I think that scene with Isaac and with these beasts with two heads, it means that Isaac himself have the three personalities. Him, his brother, and fox. I think Isaac is a fox, but I don't know. That's why I can't say I don't really trust him, because I think he is a real fox. But we will see. So, seriously. And what am I supposed to do? Gather everyone and talk them into going back to the city early? Or wait until everyone finishes their business? Find another driver. I tried. They are all connected to Ronald one way or another. He is the one in charge here. This is all such nonsense. So we can't leave one by one? Looks that way. That's impossible. There has to be some way. Kaiden reaches for the helmet without looking, but his wrist knocks into a glass. It shatters, the sound ringing through the half-empty room. You're kind of twitchy. Oh yes. I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand why the locals are losing their minds. And where did the blood come from? That's another story. Will you tell us? The short version or in detail? I want to hear everything. Kaiden looks right through her, returning to the moment that shattered his sense of reality. Then he starts laughing, throwing his head back. On the verge of a nervous breakdown. She feels it. Something in him has changed. His gaze, his behavior, even his facial features. As if what he lived through had been a test of how much his mind could withstand. The killer from the interview. He met me in the street, called me over. Said it came out wrong and he watched to express himself again. Kira can see how disgusted Kaidan is by his own agreement, but she understands his logic. A chance to remember his features, provide a lead, stop the madness. We sat down and he said, "Record." I turned on the voice recorder, but he only smirked. He clarified, "On camera." The killer on camera? That seemed strange to me too. He asked for the lamp to be aimed at his face. I was fully aware of the danger. People don't live long with recordings like that. Still, I did what he told me to do. The camera started recording, and his voice falters and Kaidan turns a hostile stare toward empty space. "If it's hard to talk about, show us the video." The buyer freezes, thinking for a couple of seconds about which option is easier, then he hands his smartphone to Isaac. At first, when I saw these two guys, I liked Kaidan more because he looks more cute. But when I played second episode, I decided to be with Isaac. I fall in love with him. Now I choose him. But sometimes still have interactions with Kaidan too. The killer is Isaac's brother? Interesting. Why? I'm waiting for the new episode so much. The biker freezes, thinking for a couple of seconds about which option is easier, then he hands his smartphone to Isaac. "Don't show her." Got it. I'm not even sure I want to watch it myself. Kira hears the video start. Kaidan's voice comes through, asking how to frame the shot better. In response, she hears, "So the world will know about me." Then comes Kaidan's breath, panic and sharp. What the... and the sound of a gunshot. The recording cuts off with the biker swearing. Fuck, he blew his brains out. Himself. That's his blood? His. Kaidan exhales, covering his face with his hands. Now you know the full story. Oh, thank God it wasn't the old man. I don't remember why they said so, but they noticed the missing poster for Isaac's brother was in the background in the meeting. That would have been a shame. Shady story. I would have thought you took out the killer yourself if not for the video. But Fairuzan, I think if Isaac saw that guy, he recognized his brother. Even if he left him like a lot of years ago, I'm sure Isaac know that his brother looks like him, and Isaac can think like, why he looks like my brother but older, because Isaac is trying to find his brother so much. So I don't think it was the killer is his brother. Another question, maybe this killer killed his brother. I don't know. Maybe Isaac is his brother. Shady story. I would have thought you took out the killer yourself if not for the video. What? That's a good thing. One less asshole. Kaidan shoots him a steady, serious look. Maybe, yes, there is a connection, yeah. Should be. And then Isaac will rewatch that video and will understand something maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's good. But I didn't want to see it. Or walk around covered in his blood. There is a shower here. God. I needed to catch my breath, get away from sight of skull fragments and brain matter. The junkie with his throat slit didn't get to you as much? I chose Isaac because of his goth makeup. A simple girl, but I do love Kaiden and I really love Laura. I like also all of them, but not Phantom. I hate him, like really hate. I still like Kaiden, but Isaac, I fall in love with him. I don't know what happened. Good. Their eye contact grows more intense. Kaiden looks at him with narrowed eyes. Isaac, coldly. The biker answers through gritted teeth. I didn't like Phantom after the story with him. He was playing the episode role on one of the story, and I didn't like him. It did. But at least he didn't cut himself up right in front of my face. Sorry, we're listening. Go on. I walked without looking, without stopping, until the streets ran out and there was dirt under my feet. And then I started seeing some strange thing. And what kind of thing? Maybe he saw the dead man too? But I think it was just my mind recovering from the shock, plus the dark. It all blurred together, and then I came out to son of a sharp pause and an equally sharp look thrown at the woman. Kaiden confidently closes the distance, moving closer to her. The events tangled into one tight knot finally begin to unravel in his mind. The entire chronology falls into place. His mind runs through it all. The failed trip home, the killer's gunshot, the shock, the vision by the river, Kira. I will step out for a bit. Isaac's dark figure disappears into the doorway. Kira holds back the wave of agitation that rises in her. After a slight hesitation, the biker carefully touches her shoulders. The anger in his eyes fades, replaced by confusion, by worry. He leans down slightly, making eye contact, showing a painful kind of care in the only way he can. Are you okay? I didn't even ask. I was too out of it. I didn't see you run. I never took off the helmet and it blocked my view. Did you hit yourself? That sudden warmth spreads through her body in an unfamiliar way. He touched her himself, even if through gloves. Even if there are still traces of someone else's blood on them. His tone doesn't lie. Only genuine concern sounds like that. And she, out of all habit, wants to lie. To make herself seem worse. To make it clear she isn't okay, just to hold on to this attention, this connection. Deep down, Kira even feels it. She's glad he didn't leave. It's a selfish feeling, but there are no saints here. However, her gaze slips from Kaiden's eyes to his lips, and embarrassed by her own reaction, she answers with a nod. I'm okay. I'm sorry. These cursed days knocked every bit of common sense out of me. He gives her shoulders a light squeeze before letting go. Kira exhales quietly, lowers her eyes, and notices the scratches on his forearms again. Small, deep cuts. An idea creeps into her mind for now, for how to keep this going. Let's take care of him. Take care of him. Does it hurt? I will leave. No, this isn't a joke. Is there a first aid kit here? Even a minor scratch can cause blood poisoning. Kira is met with a considering smile in response to her worried tone, as if Kaiden knows perfectly well what she's trying to achieve. Really? Easy, I can't give myself away that quickly. Stop smiling like that. She takes a deep breath and gathers every shred of her self-control before saying, "Really?" Kira feels that he sees right through her. All this affected care is only an excuse to stay close to him a little longer. It gets awkward. Her hands slip into her pockets on their own. There is a certain charm in being exposed. His reaction is now up to him. She freezes, uncertain. Will he let her close or not? Despite the fact that he avoids touch, Karen arcs an eyebrow. Are you worried about me? I've seen enough dead people to last me a couple of days. The biker's face grows serious and he titles his head slightly to the side, weighing his decision. As if he is on the verge of agreeing and holding himself back at the same time. He lets the pause linger, then gives a brief nod toward the backpack. There are bandages and alcohol in the first compartment. You carry them with you all the time? Yeah, because of the bike. And if you crash, you think a bandage is really going to save you? There are also gauze rolls, painkillers, scissors. Scissors? Yeah, to cut clothes away from a wound if needed. But you probably won't need any of that. Strange, yeah. Really, all the bikers have these things? Maybe yes. Maybe yes. But I'm not sure. This is a little bit strange, you know? Well, maybe. Kira carefully unzips his backpack. Inside, she finds what she needs. A sterile bandage and a box of small adhesive strips. He chose to accept help. The thought pulses in her head as she returns to Kaiden. The biker lowers himself heavily onto the arm of the coach, watching her every move. The nervousness washes over her again, making her fingers tremble slightly. Kira steps into his personal space. She carefully touches the cut with a damp bandage, trying to keep some distance and avoid direct skin-to-skin contact. Karen doesn't take his eyes off hers. His tension is palpable beneath her fingers. Kira understands that his indifference and politeness have nothing to do with it. Karen endures it, making an effort, forcing his muscles not to turn to stone under her hands. It's as if he's giving himself time to get used to her. He wants it too. Am I hurting you? After what I saw today, this is almost pleasant. What are you thinking about right now? That you are too close. Is that unpleasant for you? No. It's unfamiliar. Kira places small adhesive strips over the scratches on both forearms, expecting him to say something like, "Don't stop," but they both stay silent. He only says a quiet "thank you," and a moment later Isaac returns. Isaac, I'm sorry. Isaac, I just helped him. Isaac, no romantics. I was waiting only for you, Isaac. Now to another question. What were you running from? I didn't even have time to react. I just followed you, trying not to lose sight of you. A corpse was chasing me. Such an amazing emotions they have. I can't. That's why I'm saying it's better than Romance Club nowadays. I didn't see anyone. Yeah, I already figured that out. Isaac gets up, stops in the middle of the room and addresses both of them and no one in particular at the same time. I don't like it here. All these strange things and this gathering of lunatics, creepy hallucinations. But now, after seeing all of this for myself, I definitely can't live without my brother. He nods to Kaiden. The cab drivers here are kind of fucked in the head. Then we need to find a way to call one from the city or live on foot, I don't know. Why would you give him that idea? Really, why, Isaac? I'll try to make a deal. He pats his pocket. I don't believe principles are stronger than money around here. This is some kind of nonsense. My own fault. I should have brought the bike. So if I need to leave, I won't be able to. Ronald said you have to leave town as a full group with the people you arrived with. Of course, he didn't put it like that. It was all in rhythms again. But I got the point. Maybe I can make a deal through Brody. Kira, you don't have money. You don't have anything. You have a debt. Brody, really? Brody? Ronald's grandson. What? Big guy. And one-armed. But kind at heart. Interesting description. We actually got a lot done while you were trying to leave. Oh yeah. The biker shifts his gaze to her, silently waiting for confirmation or denial. Did she imagine that he felt a slight pang of jealousy, or was it actually true? Add fuel to the fire. Not a bad way to find out. Are you jealous? Kaiden freezes for a second, then looks away. Why would I be jealous? I'm not insisting. Isaac laughs quietly. Both of them look at him. Playing with fire. Thanks for follow. Kira hears the footsteps behind her. Too late. Kira hears the footsteps behind her too late. Her mind is still tense after the insane night. This time her body reacts instantly. She turns toward the noise, automatically taking a defensive stance. Ready to face whatever had made the noise, a reanimated corpse, the guide, Brody, a mutated animal. Instead, she meets a familiar face. Oh god, you scared me! Laura raises an eyebrow and then her laughter spreads through the living room. At first I thought you were going to lunge at me. But you are too jumpy. Here is a trade secret. If you can't attack, at least run. I'm just a little on edge. A little? Though with this company I can understand perfectly. You can never let your guard down around men. These two are harmless, I think. Hello to you too. But seriously, that won't do, baby. Reacting like that. We need to toughen you up. Toughen me up? For self-defense, so you don't jump at every little thing. Yes, Fairuzan, she is. Kira glances out the window, straightening her clothes. The thought of how ridiculous it all turned out keeps spinning insistently in her head. It's embarrassing even. On the other hand, this is a chance to finish Fox's task. Build trust and figure out whether she lied about the trip or not. If Kira has learned anything in her line of work, it's that opportunities like this shouldn't be wasted. Especially since Laura is the one who reached out first this time. I'll tell you the time and place a little later. There is one interesting spot here. I hope it won't be like the last ones. Despite her new acquaintance's unusual profession, Kira feels a strange sense of trust toward her. Or at least she doesn't expect a trap. Maybe Laura seems too straightforward to be playing both sides, or maybe their views of the world partly overlap. The next few hours blur into an endless retelling of the night's nightmare. The events with Kaiden and Isaac are discussed again and again until the details begin to fade, losing their edge. Sometimes small details become important in the eyes of others. At times, she notices that during the tense parts of the story, the biker absently touches the bandage with his fingers. And after that, sometimes his gaze drifts to her. In daylight, the visions no longer seems so terrifying, just the unusual nonsense of an exhausted mind. But Kira understands. This courage exists only in the sunlight. As soon as night falls, the fears will inevitably return. When it's time to meet Laura, she steps away to change. Time to change clothes. Some love interests may react to your wardrobe. You can take several outfits. They will figure out what you're wearing on their own. Egoist. Anime. Criminal code. Right. Criminal code. Let's try this haircut this time. But I also want to get this one too. But yeah. I heard it, but I didn't watch this anime. Just right. Sometime later, the path to the appointed spot leads across the bar, through one of the staff doors and down the stairs. I will come back after 2 minutes, guys, okay? The path to the appointed stop leads across the bar, through one of the staff doors and down the stairs. Stepping inside, Kira quickly looks around and, trying not to attract attention, slips past the tables. She briefly turns toward familiar voices. She sees... If they hadn't bashed you over the head, you had be handsome, huh? Yeah. A real fine fucker, right? Yeah! Cole gives Brody a familiar slap on the thick. And your dick's probably huge, right? You tuck it into your right pad leg to balance out the stump of your arm? Yeah. Cole, stop. He's such a cutie, a real gent. Just not intellectually. That's alright. That goes for both of you. I don't know, guys. Is that funny? Yeah, that's awful. Poor Brody. She slips past them like a silent shadow. Then she finds the right door. Kira goes down one flight of stairs and freezes. I feel kind of sick. It's probably from nerves, or lack of sleep, or food. The local cousin doesn't exactly inspire confidence, does it? Right in the center of the whole, metal bars stand out in crimson light. A cage, a fighting ring. She's only seen places like this in movies before. In low-grade films, anything goes, fighters get shoved into them. The crowd around it screams, going hoarse over bets. She always thought places like this smelled of iron, blood, and sweat. And now the emptiness seems aesthetic, even somehow memorizing. Laura appreciates your outfit. You got all dolled up. I don't like pink, but this shade is killer. Thanks. What is this place? Baby, you can see perfectly well. True. I mean, to ask why am I here? Since I've got some free time, I want to put it to good use. Teach you a couple of tricks, so you stop being so skittish. Just like that? The offer sounds like it comes with a catch. Maybe because she herself isn't used to doing anything for anyone without getting something in return? Just like that. I don't like it when women feel weak. I have seen too many times now how that ends. Kira wants to ask how, but Laura has already turned toward the ring. You won't become a great fighter after one training session, but at least you will learn not to fear pain. Are you planning to hit me? If you don't block the punches. I think it's time for me to... I'm joking. Let's put it this way. I'm not an altruist, but I used to teach self-defense to girls all the time. I don't know whether that fits with her story about mercenaries or not. It's not like this is anything suspicious about that. You can do both. They move deeper into the hole. Kira wonders what made Laura this way. So fearless, able to stand up for herself. And at the same time, someone who has tied her life to crime. They step inside the cage. How many heads have probably been cracked open here? I watched a video essay saying boxers sometimes have their nasal cartilage removing on purpose so their noses don't break in every fight. Oh god, that's why I don't like the internet. I have never heard of that, but it sounds ridiculous. Kim, you know, my English is not very good and I'm reading a novel. Ask me when I will not read, okay? Kira shifts from foot to foot, feeling awkward in this spacious hall. She looks around, searching for any kind of equipment. Where are the gloves? Kira, baby, I'm not a boxer. I teach self-defense, and in LA, no one is going to come at you by the rules. No, don't DM me, just write it on the stream when I will not be reading a novel. That makes sense. Better stop embarrassing myself and shut up. Laura makes a broad gesture with her hand, pointing to the center of the hall, and stops 3 feet in front of Kira. Everything inside her clenches and a sticky chill spreads down her back at her own helplessness. The woman's tone changes instantly. The ease disappears and her voice turns dry and commanding. Remember the main point. When a man fights a man, he is extremely alert because he understands his opponent's strength. With us, they relax. They think attacking won't take any effort, and that's your trump card. But how can they underestimate something that isn't there in the first place? Kira raises her hand, a thin wrist, pale skin, the standard build of someone who spends her life in front of a monitor and rarely even goes for walks, let alone to the gym. Laura only curls her lips into something like a smile. You don't need big biceps. In self-defense, you are not preparing for a duel. Your job is to fight back and run. Laura closes the distance abruptly, her shoulder almost touching Kira's. She reaches out and sees her wrist in a vice-like grip. The mercenary's fingers feel like steel and the pale skin beneath them instantly turns white. Try to free yourself. I had no idea she was this strong. Kira suddenly draws in a deep breath and tries to break free. As best she knows how, as best she can, obeying her barely developed survival instinct. And understands, if someone grabbed her like this on the street, she could easily be killed. Her attempts fail. Don't pull toward yourself, it's useless. Look for the weak point in the grip. Kira's gaze slides over the other woman's firm muscles, forearm, wrist, fingers. If only I knew where that weak point was. Laura winks at her. Then, with a precise movement, she demonstrates the technique. Grab the opponent's thumb and twist it at the right angle. On the second try, when Kira repeats the motion, her hand unexpectedly slips free. Are you letting me win, or does that actually work? It actually works. Wow, I'm surprised it worked. I've trained girls scrawnier than you. For the next half hour, they train. Laura is strict, demanding, and patient in her approach, explaining and demonstrating things as many times as necessary for them to sink in. But she chews her out harshly for mistakes. Kira tires out quickly, feeling her clothes stick to her back, but she tries to remember everything. Good girl. Relatively. Come on, let's rest before you cough up both lungs on me. Finally, they lean against the metal bars, finding support. Talk to Laura. The floor blurs before her eyes. Her head spins slightly from the strain. A persistent thought circles in her mind. She needs to find out why Laura came to Morvaine. Now, in this atmosphere of trust, at least broach the subject indirectly, wait for Laura to pick it up, then start asking questions. After all, Laura doesn't see her as an enemy. On the other hand, she wants something else. Talk about life, get to know the mercenary better, to understand why, out of all the girls in this hole, Laura offered help to her specifically. And for free, too. You said you'd teach self-defense. Is that work or charity? It's a necessity. I have professional military training and work experience. True, I had to leave that behind, but that's not the point. I don't want all that experience to go to waste. That's why I help people who want to become stronger. Funny position I teach while deep down hoping my lessons never come in handy. The woman falls silent, then reaches into her pocket for a cigarette. She flicks the lighter and takes a drag, sinking into thought. Kira stares at the rising clouds of cigarette smoke. I'm sick of crime. I'm tired of keeping my guard up and waiting for a knife in my back. Once I sort out my business here, I'm done. Yeah, me too. They return to training. The second round is physically harder, but mentally easier. Amid all the concentration, the movement, and the noisy breathing, neither of them hears the door slam. A silhouette watches them for a while, staying in the shadows, until he gets bored. Watching women fight has never been this pleasant before. Phantom? Laura and Kira turn sharply, instantly stopping the lesson. What's wrong? Did I catch you off guard? The exit is where the entrance is. What are you doing here? I suppose I'll forget that tone. He looks them both over and smirks. Did you never wondered who had a cage installed in Morvaine? It's abandoned. Of course. Just a little worn. I thought a new one wouldn't suit this place. So this is your place? Relatively, I rented it. Which is great. Kira, let's get out of here. Phantom tilts his head slightly and spreads his hands in a friendly gesture. There is no need for that. I'm not kicking you out. More than that, I was amused by your little activity. Keep it up and you will regret it. No need for aggression. I'm not attacking. I only came to check out the cage. The first fight will be held here soon. Want to place a bet? Lovely. Nightmare fuel. The mafioso winks at Kira, then immediately shifts his gaze to Laura. Kira freezes. He speaks quietly, pointedly, polite, almost inviting. But she has heard people like that before. They know how to get what they want without even raising their voices. Phantom is a skilled manipulator. She knows that perfectly well, but she still doesn't understand exactly what he wants from them. You're not kicking us out, thanks, then stop distracting us. I'll take my you're welcome in the form of a small demonstration. He approaches, stepping into the cage. Will Kira show me what you taught her? Is he really that bored in his casino? Though actually, Blair and Cole are hanging out around in the bar. Business not going well? No visitors? She will show you if she wants to. I thought you people had hierarchy. Well, then, Kira, do you dare? Just one small move. I'll think about it carefully. Why so modest? I'll be gentle. She squints, shooting Laura a brief glance. The woman gives no sign, which means she has to choose for herself. Absolutely. Phantom smirks, formally gesturing for Laura to leave the cage. She gives a skeptical pff and says she will stay close. For a moment, Kira measures her own courage. Left alone with the mafioso in the ring, she senses an impenetrable calm. That self-confidence the mercenary talked about, is he so confident he will come out on top? She lets her gaze slide over his broad back, the pressed suit, the neat haircut, the expensive accessories. Kira decides, either he has a plan, or he is mocking her. Still, along with caution, her desire to make him see his mistake grows. Maybe he is the predator in the cage, but Kira won't become prey. What should I do, Any hold? Any simple one. Then I will show you the simplest. He approaches her from the front, closing the distance as much as possible, holding eye contact. The corner of his lips curves into a smile. Will you listen or tell him to screw off? I don't recommend wearing anything to a fight that can come off with one tug. And then he tries to grab her by the throat. Kira manages a brief smirk. She was waiting for it. Predictable, and she has a clear counter to the move. Fired up, she quickly knocks his hand to the side and gets ready to look in the hold. Immediately, she finds the blade of a knife by her face. I don't like Phantom at all. Really, he is red flag, the biggest red flag in the world. I don't like how he looks like. I don't like how he talks with us. I don't like what is he doing, but we are reading scenes with him because we are interested what is going on. A cry breaks from her throat, and at the edge of her hearing, she catches Laura's hurried steps and Phantom's warning, "Don't come closer." This is the final part of the lesson. Laura is good at what she thinks self-defense is, but it hardly reflects reality. The mafioso lowers the blade to her neck and uses it to brush aside a stand of hair, enjoying the control. Kira is afraid to move. A lump freezes in her throat and her body locks up completely. She feverishly runs through the techniques she learned in her head and realizes she has forgotten them all. Because, girl, you have to train many times, so it will be like your body language. Your body will remember this language, how to fight. Of course, after one lesson, you don't have the skills. Funny, but when you are a hair's breadth from potential death, every thought flies out of your head. Muscle memory, yeah. We too, but I just forgot. All that remains is primal terror, which in some strange, twisted way mixes with the surge of adrenaline. Kira is angry at her own helplessness, but Phantom's gaze, dangerous and dark, pulls her in despite all common sense. Worst of all is the mocking hub whispered close to her face, and with it the weight of his body. As if the mafioso is making promises, issuing threats, and can't do anything to her. And her own mind treacherously races, provoke him or freeze. An attack on the street is a game without rules, Kira. And you were so focused on the technique you learned that you missed the knife. You're overconfident. Inattentive. What are you trying to achieve? I'm just adding a little life to your naive first lesson. The man's gaze slides over her face, lingering briefly on her lips. The tip of the knife presses ever so slightly against the skin to her neck, not enough to draw blood, but right on the edge, causing a painful pulse in her temples. Kira is afraid to breathe. Blah, he is a red flag. I hate him so much. Her heart beats so hard in her chest that each thought seems to travel through the steel strain into the mafioso's palm. The tip of the knife scrapes behind her ear against the metal pole of the cage. Phantom pulls away as abruptly as he brought the weapon to her. He laughs lightly, watching as Kira tries to catch her breath. You didn't do so badly for a first lesson. My unsolicited but useful advice to you is, in a moment of real danger, don't be predictable. And get yourself at least a knife. Otherwise, you won't survive. He winks and exits the cage, stopping in front of Laura. You're disgusting. You can use the ring whether you want, whenever you want. In return, do me a favor, don't scare my prostitutes again. What? Not Rosemary. That shoddy bitch. She likes me. That's exactly the problem. Neither of them raises their voice, but the tone between them grows colder. As if this little confrontation were a business negotiation, Morvaine style. I came here to do good, open a casino, start some interesting conversations, and then you show up and turn the girls against me. I know bastards like you, but you don't know me. Open a casino? So he lied to us. He wanted to open a casino. Wait, he doesn't need girls, or maybe he does, but that's beside the point. He lied. You caught Phantom in a lie. While Laura and Phantom sort things out, Kira tries to latch out onto what she needs. A scrap of information, a word accidentally let slip. From the conversation she understands, Rosemary is involved in their conflict. That old acquaintance of Laura's or her friend from the brothel. She holds her breath, hoping only that they will keep talking. But instead she hears, "Shall we talk outside? No need for extra ears." Yeah, let's step out. The door closes behind them, leaving Kira alone for a few minutes. She slides down the wall and sits on the floor. Her hands are still shaking. A knife. You put a knife to my throat. He can't handle a fair fight. Kira clenches her fingers into a fist, trying to stop the trembling. The stream of thoughts captures her attention. And so, not counting her, two people told the truth and two lied. Kaiden wasn't lying. He went to the interview with the killer. Phantom, on the other hand, lied. All that remains is to divide the final truth and the final lie between those who aren't in any hurry to show their cards. Isaac shows no eagerness in the search. Laura also keeps to herself, though her sudden willingness to teach self-defense and her stories about the past both seem almost sincere. Kira tiredly slides down to the wall, sinking to the floor and quietly growing angry. She hears the long-awaited smartphone notification. Oh, fuck. You're the last person I needed right now. She wants to smash the phone with one nervous throw. Instead, Kira turns the screen toward herself. Miss me? It's not Phantom. Yeah, Fox. Phantom is not a fox because Phantom is talking with Laura. And of course, Laura is not a fox because Laura is talking with Phantom. So, it should be Isaac. Or another guy. It's been a while since we texted, hasn't it? What a shame you can't reply. Just tell me what you want already. And spare me another round of threats. She knows her replies never reach him, but he knows her every move. He's just waiting for the moment he can catch her alone. For what? To make it harder to guess by trying his mask on everyone? Her teeth grinned at the string of notifications, one after another. Today you will give me your answer. About who was lying. I don't care whether you made it within the time I gave you. I need an answer. Oh, and I wouldn't relax if I were you. I don't get attached to anyone, or you will doom them to my revenge. Cursed bastard. Below that, coordinates and a time appear. And Kira notices how her fear of Fox gives way to something else, a growing anger toward him. I will find you. Do you hear me? I will find you! But the phone stays silent. Laura returns alone, looking displeased with how the negotiations went. She helps her up and forces a smile. Come on, baby. We can come here to train. Here's good news. Her thoughts are already occupied with something else. What she will tell Fox. Closer tonight. The guide said not to break Morvaine's rules. Fox wrote that I should go alone. Does he want to drive me into debt? And which of the psychopaths am I supposed to listen to? On top of that, we can't even leave this dump one by one. The location Fox sent her to is right in front of her. As she approaches the destination, she irritably kicks an empty beer can. She winces at the noise, then looks around, making sure no one is following her. There is no fear, at least not now. The events of the past days have burned the fear out of her, as if her brain had been fitting it into her nervous system so relentlessly that it finally overloaded. Only irritation remains. How did paid flirting turn into this? She looks around and notices a massive building with an unusual shape. Здорово. Я тебе напишу, как только я что-то сделаю. Maybe one of the workshops, maybe the remains of a cathedral, a cracked concrete structure rising into the sky. Kira steps inside and immediately trips over metal. Spray can. She picks up a can of spray paint and only then, after straightening up, looks around. No way. In front of her are high walls and windows near the ceiling, but that isn't what surprises her. Every surface except the floor is densely covered in graffiti. Instead of drawings or tags, there are names. Written in different colors, different hands at different times. Some faded, others bright. Many are crossed out. And beneath each one, a note, only one of two options. Truth or lie. The sheer scale of it makes her breath catch. What do all these names belong to if the black market only comes alive once every few years? Could each of them really be one of Ronald's passengers, playing a mindless game? Who made them write all of this? It looks terrifying. This was done by someone either far too obsessed or sick. Brody mentioned some kind of big game. Are these the participants' pens? Or is it all much simpler and graffiti artists just picked up the style and covered the cathedral in it? She starts to feel uneasy. Max, honest. Honest, Kate, liar. Samuel, honest. Liar. Mira, honest. Logan, liar. Renes, liar. But her only chance of getting out of here faster is to write down her companions' names and decide which of them is telling the truth and which is lying. Kira takes a few steps, choosing a spot. There is very little blank space left on the walls. She has to crouch down. Her footsteps echo hollowly. Last time when I was playing, I didn't believe to Isaac. And Laura, and now I know that Kaidan is saying the truth. Phantom is lying. But what about Laura and Isaac? I don't know. Kaidan? The smell of paints hits her nose, and it is nothing like writing with a ballpoint pen, but no one asked her to write beautifully. Next to his name, Kira writes truth. Phantom, a dash, lie. During the trip, he said there were no truth tellers here. How could she have missed that? Really? Isaac, Laura. She bites her lip, lost in thought for a moment. Her mind urges her on. Hurry. She has to decide. Fox is waiting for you. Mark one as truth, the other as a lie. The only question, which is which? I don't know, but I don't believe to Isaac and to Laura, both of them I don't believe, but maybe Isaac really thinks that he's trying to find a brother. Maybe Isaac is not lying, but brother doesn't exist. Maybe Isaac is not even lying, but Laura, I think she is lying. She came here not to find some big guys. I'm not sure. She's trying to find someone. It's not a place where you should do that. So I don't believe to Laura this time. Isaac truth, Laura lie. Her hand jerks when her finger grows tired of pressing the can's nozzle. Still, Laura's goals are unclear. The brothel, Rosemary, the conflict with Phantom. Nothing that suggested anyone was selecting fighters. Kira makes her decision. Next to Isaac's name, she writes truth. Something like that. She rides her own last. You told the truth on the trip. I'm naive then. A shuddering rumble passes through the concrete walls. Either the building has settled into the bog, or electricity has been sent through its depths. Time to get out of here. There. Satisfied, you bastard! Bastard echoes around her, growing weaker. The ensuing silence is broken by the sound of an incoming notification. That was quick. I thought I'd have to press harder. Tell me, which of your companions do you like best? All right, you can't talk. Remember, at the end of these assignments, there will be me and your laptop. Here's the second in the chain. How insane are you on a scale from 1 to 10? Thought first. Think about this question. What's scarier, the whole internet seeing your nudes, or your brother never getting out of prison? He doesn't have a life sentence, not yet. But with what I dug up on your laptop, I could easily become one. Don't touch Jer. Here's your second assignment. Contact your brother. Her heart beats so fast it pounds in her temples. She feels an invisible noose tightening around her neck. Not Jer. Don't drag him into this. Contact him. Tell him not to look for you. Make sure to say you have found the love of your life and the two of you are leaving the country. Paint him a vivid picture of how deeply in love you are. Kira is silent, stunned by the absurdity and cruelty of the order. She knows that the theory too well not to understand the subtext. How do girls get abducted? The first task is to methodically sever every thread tying the victim to the world. Strip her of friends. Cut her off from family. Make her disappearance look like a voluntary escape into a happy life. What phrase excites an abductor most? The one that gives him absolute power and impunity. She has no one. Yes. Oh. Next episode will be Fox's second assignment is at stake. Find a way to contact your brother or get ready to suffer the consequences. Yes, something like that. Very interesting, by the way, was to read it. As always. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's amazing.